on a Moog modular instrument.
Okay, now let us explore a couple more of these Moog 900 series samples for the Arturia MicroFreak. Here we go. This is sample number 3. This is another one with a pop in it, but I found it charming. It's a little bit low. This is sample number 3. These are just so charming. I mean, even with the pop in it, I left the pop in it because, you know, you got to have that authentic sound, but it's just a unique and interesting timbre that you're not going to easily arrive at, you know, just using various typical waveforms. And it's because, as I mentioned in the previous video, you know, these sounds were designed by Wendy Carlos, so they're all going to be really interesting. And we can listen to it lower. We can actually get that sample started a little more soon, a little quickly. And let's see if we can get a loop going. That's always fun. That is nice. That shoddy loop that I made actually gives it kind of a delay effect. It's always fun to add the synthesis elements into this because we're basically working with this cool timbre that is the result undoubtedly of a multitude of oscillators and filtering and etc. So it doesn't typically need a lot of synthesis, but all we have to do to add that, you know, is just use the functions present on the MicroFreak, and then pow, you've got something even more interesting. You're starting off with an interesting waveform, and then, you know, you're adding your own filtering to it, analog filtering, no less. And I mean, in a lot of ways, that's what this whole synth engine does anyway. It provides you with these complex waveforms that you can then use, you know, the analog filter on. But yeah, it's cool that these are, you know, sounds from 1967, the Moog 900 demo album. where the synthesis was done by Wendy Carlos. So, like, keep in mind that you are playing these incredible Wendy Carlos timbres from 1967 on your modern Arturia MicroFreak. Let's see what we have next in store. We're up to number 4. Let's hear it. Wow. Right off the bat, I mean, that is a very cool timbre, and it's not a timbre that you're going to get, with a sawtooth. Oh, not a sawtooth? Okay, let's try, That is a complex waveform that has its own timbre. So we're starting with something more complex before we even add any filters or anything, and that is what is cool. And also, it doesn't hurt who designed it. But anyway, so here's this sound, the sample. It has a sound that I think you could get a good banjo out of. If you were that kind of person. If you were a banjo person, you'd get a banjo out of this. And just playing it, you can hear the crackles in there. You're immediately, it's evocative of a different time. Let's mess with it a little bit. Do we dare? Let's skip trying to make a loop. I haven't had the best luck with loops lately. But we could add a delay. Let's hear what that sounds like. Don't forget that when you have a loop like this and you play something in rhythm with the loop, octaves are going to give you a natural rhythm, and the other notes will too. And if you know how to play those rhythms, you can create rhythmic things like the thing I just did. Interesting. That almost sounds Novacord-esque because we've brought in the bandpass filter present on the MicroFreak, giving it kind of a bandpassy vintage sound, which to me always reminds me of the Novacord that I had. So, yeah, but there is, as per usual, a tremendous amount of possibility here. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have a Dreadbox Hypnosis around to sort of add some effects and get some more, vintage traditional effect sort of outcomes, because it does have a spring reverb, which helps, and then the delay, which is not analog, but definitely does some sort of analog-esque things like all delays do. Anyway, yeah, so those are another two of the samples from the 1967 Moog 900 series demo album.